Alright, scholars, we're going over your compound structures and compound sentences, self-practice, and I'm just going to go quickly over the true-false, and then I want to diagram the responses for you down here so that you feel good prior to your quick check. So all of these statements are true. A structure is any individual part of the sentence. Okay, and by all these being true, I just mean these first three. So for example, the subject is a structure, right? It's part of your sentence. The verb is a structure, it's part of your sentence. The direct object is a structure, it's part of your sentence. The indirect object is a structure, so it's part of a sentence. So we call those little parts of the sentence, we call those structures. So that is true. A single, so we know single meaning one, okay? A single structure means there's only one structure in a sentence. That means, for example, there's only one subject there, okay? Whereas a compound structure means there's more than one structure. So that's true, okay? Single structure is like one subject, like mom. But a compound structure is more than one, like mom and dad, and it's going to be linked with a conjunction. Remember, every part of the sentence can be compound. So you could have more than one subject, more than one predicate, more than one direct object, more than one indirect object, prep phrase, adjective, adverb, all of those, and they're linked with a conjunction. So all of those first three statements are true. Now your only false statement here is this one. Correlative conjunctions mean there's only one conjunction linking the structure. That is not true. Correlative means two-part, okay? Two-part one could be like both mom and dad talk, right? You have both and. That's a two-part conjunction, okay? The one that is a one conjunction, we call that a coordinating conjunction. And those coordinating conjunctions are where we get the fanboys, okay? That's like for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so, okay? True, a conjunction is like tape, okay? It connects words or independent clauses. So words are when we have a compound structure, like, for example, mom and dad. It's connecting two words, okay? But an independent clause, remember, is a simple sentence. You could link one sentence with a comma and a conjunction and then another sentence, okay? A simple sentence is an independent clause, which means it's a complete thought and can stand on its own. Totally true, okay? A simple sentence, so simple sentence equals an independent clause, meaning it can be all on its own. A compound sentence is two or more independent clauses combined with a comma, totally true, and a conjunction. So you could have a comma and a conjunction, or you could have a semicolon to combine, totally true. Okay, so that's your true-false portion. All right, let's go to the part two, and on this I said put a separate sheet of paper. You may have done the back of this sheet, but I'm going to diagram these with you, okay, to walk you through. So the first ones, let's just do some planning here. The students wanted indoor recess. The teachers craved outdoor recess. So notice this is a compound sentence. I have two sentences coming together, and I have that conjunction. I'm sorry, not the conjunction, I apologize. The semicolon linking them, okay? So first work on this sentence. Students is your subject, the students. What did they do? They wanted. What did they want? Recess. What kind of recess? Indoor recess. Okay, so you've planned that one out. Then plan out your second one. Teachers is your subject, the. What did they do? They craved. What did they crave? Recess. Kind of recess? Outdoor. Okay, so I have two separate sentences that I'm going to diagram and I'm going to link with this semicolon. So here I'm going to come up here and I'm going to do my first sentence. Okay, my first sentence. So I diagram this all by itself. So I have students and wanted. What did they want? They wanted, let me kind of scoot this out a little bit. They wanted recess. Okay, and they wanted indoor recess, which is probably not true. Kids love going outside, as do teachers. And the students wanted indoor recess. Okay, so I've diagrammed the first sentence. Now I have the second one, but I've got to be strategic in this because I've got to end up linking these verbs with my semicolon. So what I do is I put my line down here, it's dotted there, then it's solid here, and then dotted again. So this means my verb has to land over here, okay? So I'm going to put my next sentence, but I'm trying to make sure my verb lands there, okay? So I had, in this case, I had teachers craved. What did they crave? They craved recess. Okay, it was, I had the teachers. craved recess. Notice this one was lowercase again. And they craved outdoor recess. Now here's the diagram. There's only one thing missing from here. I need the semicolon. You could diagram a semicolon here or the letter X as in a place for it. That's your diagram. Two separate sentences that you're combining with your semicolon. Okay? Let's do our second one. The little old lady hit the tall and distinguished gentleman. Okay, so first thing, I'm like, here's my subject, lady. Okay, it was an old lady, little lady, the lady. What did she do? She hit. Whom did she hit? She hit the gentleman. So the gentleman's acting as your direct object, but I have some descriptors to the gentleman. Distinguished, tall. But notice I have a conjunction here. This one is a compound structure, where the one above was a compound sentence, okay? Compound sentence is when you're combining two independent clauses together. This one was combining two adjectives to describe the gentleman, tall and distinguished. All right, so let's do this diagram. All right, so I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to start with my sentence structure. Okay, so I know I only have one subject. I have no rocket ship here because I'm going to link adjectives. So I've got lady. What did the lady do? Lady hit gentleman. Remember, this is like our headline. Lady hit gentleman. I'm going to work on the lady side, so it was the lady. Okay, the little lady, the little old lady hit gentleman. But look over here. I've got hit tall gentleman. Okay, hit distinguished gentleman. Now I have to link tall and distinguished, right? So remember, for this type, you just put a dotted line and you put your conjunction right on the dotted line. And that is your diagram. Alright guys, let's do our next one. Neither his mom nor dad bought him and his sister school supplies. Okay, so first thing I'm starting to notice here is some of these conjunctions. So I have neither nor. That's a correlative conjunction. What is it linking? The neither nor is linking mom and dad. Those are your subjects, right? So his mom, and really part of you might be thinking, well, this his is applying to both mom and dad, but let's just put it to the mom here, okay? What did they not do? They didn't buy, right? What did they not buy? Supplies. Okay, school supplies. And for whom? Who didn't get these supplies? Him is an IO. Sister is an IO. And you have his sister. Okay, and you have an and. So you have a lot going on here. Okay, first thing I do is let's do our diagonal line going down. Okay, let's first do that because in this particular case we have two subjects. So I'm going to put my line down here and let me start here because I have neither mom nor dad, right? So I know I'm going to need a rocket ship. I come in my middle, I go up and out, down and over, and I'm going to put my dotted line. Okay, let me stay here for a moment. I'm going to put my subjects, mom, dad. Okay, I'm just going to link the his for this case. Okay, and on the quick check, just do it to the mom if you end up having that. You won't have one like this, so I'm just going to say that for you now. Okay, and then put your neither nor. So my subject side is done. Now I'm over here, bought, and I got to get supplies. So let me do my line out. And I'm going to do bought supplies, okay, school supplies, all right, and then I've got these IOs. So remember, IOs diagram like phrases. You bring this down, and you've got two IOs. So you build a rocket ship, okay, and I have him, sister, his sister, and I'm going to link those with the coordinating conjunction and that's your diagram. Okay? Alright guys, let's do our last one. Post Malone, try to give you some current stuff. Post Malone smelled and eyed the translucent yellow sunflowers, and Sway Lee watched in awe. Okay, so first thing I notice is I notice this prep phrase. So I'm going to block that out. But I'm going to notice also here that I've got a conjunction, and it's actually linking two sentences. So this is an incomplete thought, this is a complete thought, this is a complete thought. So this one's going to be a compound sentence. Okay? And just as a reminder for the one above, that was a compound structure. We didn't have two sentences there. Okay. So, let me work with my first sentence. Post Malone is my subject now. What did he do? He smelled and eyed. So I've got two verbs linked here. What did he smell and eye? Sunflowers. So that's my direct object. Sorry, my pencil just broke. That's my direct object. The sunflowers were yellow, translucent, and they were the sunflowers. So that side is all planned. Now I come over here. And Sway Lee, what did he do? So this is a proper noun, so that's my subject noun. He watched, and he watched in awe. So that's an easy sentence to diagram. Let's first work with Post Malone, okay? So when I come to this Post Malone side, I notice I only have one subject, but I've got two verbs. So let me start with my diagram here. I'm going to go down my line, and I try to be very strategic about this. I really try to think about it. Go down my line, and I'm like, all right, I only have Post Malone on one side over here. So he's going to be right here, Post Malone. But he did two things, okay? He smelled and eyed, but they have the same D-O. So I'm going to have to close this one out. So look what I do. Here I know I'm going to have my rocket ship. Okay? I have my rocket ship, and let's put what Post Malone did. He smelled and eyed. Okay, so he looked at. But they share the same DO. So here, you've got to show that sharing. So you're going to close out your rocket ship, okay? You put your little line for your DO, and then you bust out what that DO is. So it was sunflowers. It was the sunflowers, the translucent sunflowers, and the yellow sunflowers. Now, here's the tough part. You've got another sentence, but you've got to link your verbs, right? So here's what you can do. You just do your dotted line down here, showing that you're trying to make it to the verb. You come out here, and then you go back down, okay? Remember, your verbs have to match up. So here, I only have one subject and one verb. Ooh, I'm going to scoot my line over a little bit. So I'm going to put Sway Lee here. And what did Sway Lee do? He watched. And how did he watch? He watched in awe. In awe. Now, there's one thing missing from my diagram, okay? And that is my conjunction. So it goes right on my solid line. And that's your diagram, guys. Alright, so all your diagramming is done. Now you're on to your last part. What does fanboy stand for? You're going to have to know this on the quick check. So the F is for and, nor, but, or, yet, so. Okay? And then, what's the formula for a compound sentence? Okay, so remind yourself, there's two different formulas really here. You can have an independent clause, okay, plus a comma, plus a conjunction, but that conjunction is fanboys. Okay, so I'm going to put that kind of in parentheses. That's your conjunction. Okay, plus another independent clause. Remember, an independent clause is a simple sentence. That's what you were working up to for a long time. Okay, now that's your first formula that you could have. Your second one is you could have an independent clause plus a semicolon, okay, plus an independent clause. That's my personal favorite. That's your second way. Alright guys, now you're going to need a code for me to prove that you have done this, right, after I see it in class. So here is your code. At the bottom right here, you're going to write Mrs. Russell's birthday. So you're going to write April 28. Okay, that's my birthday. It's great. It's exciting. But then you're also going to write Mrs. Russell's favorite color, which is purple. Alright, and then the last thing you're going to write is the age of your parent. Okay, so I'm going to put the age of my mom. My mom is 59. Alright, so you have to have Mrs. Russell's birthday, my favorite color is purple, and the age of any parent. So this is a parent's age. And that's your code. All right, guys, I look forward to seeing you in class. Happy studying.